Hello students, today we are going to discuss about lesson of biology, that is diversity in living organisms. If you look around yourself and look at various organisms, maybe plant or animal, maybe microbes present in the soil, there is bewildering variety. There can be 4 to 5 millions of species of plants and animals, right? And nobody can study all these organisms one by one in one lifetime. So we'll have to ask God to give us maybe 1,000 years lifespan so that we can study. Now, in this chapter we are going to study about the classification. What is classification? Classification is grouping of organisms. Say you go to some chemist store. You say, okay, give me medicine this. Starting from alphabet A. He will go and remember. There are thousands of medicines in his shop. How does it? He remembers all. Where has he kept? So he has various shelves. So he puts the alphabet A, B in this shelf, starting from C in this shelf, starting from S in this shelf, and so on. Right. So similarly, in biology, we are grouping the organisms on the basis of their similarities and differences, that is classification. Before classification, we will be studying about some variety in living organisms. There are 3 types of basic variations. One is variation in the lifespan. There are some trees which grow, for many years, maybe hundreds of years, but there are some insects like mosquito, it lives for few days only. Then there is variation in color. There are some worms which are transparent. And on the other side we have colorful flowers, colorful fruits, colorful organisms. Right? Very attractive colored fishes and snakes, etc. Then there is variation in size. On one side we have microscopic bacteria, mycoplasmas. And on the other side, we have whale which can be 30 meter, which we have redwood trees of California which may be 100 meter high, right? So there is a great variety in living organisms. Now we shall be studying about the characteristic. Characteristic can be any form, any structure. See, I have 5 fingers in my hand is a characteristic. Plants show photosynthesis is a characteristic. Plant cells have cell wall is a characteristic. Now, what characteristics we shall be taking into consideration when we are classifying the organisms? First of all, the most fundamental characteristic is whether organism is prokaryote or eukaryote. Whether organism is prokaryote or eukaryote means has well-defined nucleus or does not have well-defined nucleus. Then, if it is eukaryote, whether organism is, now next question arises, unicellular or multicellular? This is another question. Then we'll ask another question. If it is multicellular, then what type of nutrition it shows? Whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic? Right. If it shows heterotrophic nutrition, if it is showing heterotrophic nutrition, then whether the skeleton is present inside or outside of the body. Even one more we can put in this. If it is showing heterotrophic nutrition, whether it is cell wall or cell wall is not present. If it is cell wall, it will be fungus. If cell wall is not present, it will be animal. In animal also the next question, skeleton is inside or outside the body. So in these questions, we can see the hierarchy of classification is building up. Right? There is a hierarchy of classification building up. So now, we move to classification. First, a pioneer in the field of classification was a great thinker, Aristotle. He said that we can classify organisms on the basis of habitat where they live. If they are living in water or living on land. But that type of classification is very confusing. Right? Now, we shall be, but in our epics, they have, there is a mention of classification, that is Jalchar means living in water, Thalchar means living on land, then Nabchar which are living in sky like birds. So this concept of classification is very, very old. Now in the latest one, we shall be discussing classification given by Ernst Haeckel, Robert Whittaker and Carl Woese. Ernst Haeckel, Robert Whittaker and Carl Woese. They classified organism on a certain criteria, that is cell structure, mode and source of nutrition, cell structure, prokaryote or eukaryote, mode and source of nutrition, autotrophic or heterotrophic, body organization, whether it is unicellular or multicellular, and so on and so forth. They classified all organisms in five major kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. I repeat: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Then Carl Woese further divided Monera into Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. So only one group was classified into this. Archaea is new, old, archaeology, old one. Old bacteria, and U is new, that is advanced or new bacteria. Right. Now, there are different hierarchical orders of classification. So first of all, we divide into kingdom. We have seen 5 kingdoms: Protista, Monera, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Then we further divide kingdom into different groups, and those groups are called phylum in animals and division in plants. Then these phyla is plural of phylum, phyla and division are further divided into classes. Classes are divided into orders on the basis of certain similar features. Order is divided into family into genus, and genus into species. So this is Kepi Koff GS. You can remember this acronym. So to learn these in sequence: Kepi Koff GS. You can build up your own, like some sentence on this basis. Species is the lowest category of classification. Now what is a species? A species is a group of organisms which are able to breed and perpetuate in nature. This is not induced fertilization, that sometimes scientists, they perform experiments, they are crossbreeding lion and tiger and are producing Tygeon or liger, lion plus tiger, liger, or horse and ass are cross fertilized to produce mule. So that's not natural. In nature, members of same species like to reproduce. So species is a group of organisms which are able to breed and perpetuate in nature. Now, after this, we come to these phyla one by one. A little bit we'll be discussing today. Monera. Monerans are, their nucleus is not well defined. They are prokaryotes. And these are always made up of single cell. They are unicellular. Then they can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Some of the bacteria are chemotrophic. They show chemotrophic process, that is, they can make their own food from chemicals. Then cell wall may be present or may not be present. Present or may not be present. So these are basic features of monerans: prokaryotic, unicellular, nutrition may be autotrophic or heterotrophic, and cell wall may or may not be present. All these bacteria, cyanobacteria, blue-green alga, these are monerans. Right? Then we come to protistans. In comparison to Monera, monerans are prokaryotic, that is, they do not have well-defined nucleus. Protistans are eukaryotic, that is, they have well-defined nucleus. Then cell wall again may be present, may not be present. Then they have appendages for movement. These can be cilia, which are hair-like, or flagella, which is whip-like. Like in case of paramecium, all over the body there are hair-like cilia, which will show movement and help the plant to show locomotion, and cilia present here in the oral groove will help the food to go inside cilia. Then, like in case of Euglena, there can be flagella, one long thick process called flagella. So this is also for the movement. So eukaryotic cell wall may or may not be present. Appendages are present like cilia or flagella. Like amoeba, paramecium, Euglena, they belong to this category of eukaryotes, protista. Now we come to next part, fungi. Fungus is singular, fungi is plural. Some say fungi, some say fungi. Now, fungi, this shows heterotrophic nutrition. They can be saprotrophic or parasitic. Some of the fungi depends upon dead and decaying organic matter, and they show saprotrophic nutrition. These are very helpful in decomposing plant and animal waste that we throw, and they create a new space for life. And parasitic fungi, they take their nourishment from another living organisms. Now, some of the fungi are unicellular, but they may become multicellular in their later life. The special feature of fungi is that their cell wall is made up of chitin. This is a tough complex sugar made up of N-acetyl glucosamine units. Chitin, right? So this is a component of cell wall of fungi. We eat one type of fungus, that is mushroom. Mushroom is a fungus. Yeast, you have so many times heard about it. Yeast, which is used in making, in the process of making dosa, idli, etc. Now, mushroom is example of fungi. Then we come to plantae. Members of plantae, they are eukaryotic, they have cell wall made up of cellulose, autotrophic, and then comes last kingdom is Animalia. In Animalia, again they are eukaryotic, but cell wall is absent. Plantae are autotrophic, these are heterotrophic. Right. And then there is one more topic, evolution. This is descent with modification. Descent with modification is the shortest definition of evolution. Now, जब से धरती बनी, as long from back, when Earth was formed, from that time till now, there are new features being added in the organisms. I'm saying new features like phones. When these came into when phones were made, these were very, very huge. Later on, then a small phone came which had a torch, which had battery and the buttons for dialing, right? And then came, and before that phone, even the pagers came that you could send or receive message and then you dial from public booth. After those button phone, then came the touch phones and then colored phones. Then Today's phone has camera, it is a radio, it is camera, it is alarm clock, it is calendar, it is a postman, post box. So, oh my God, endless list of features. So features keep on adding up. Similarly, in organisms, new and new features keep on adding up, right? Like primitive horse was just 25 centimeter high. And if that type of horse comes and you keep in front of horse, and you will not be able to, believe that this is the ancestor of this present day, such a big one, maybe 1.5 meter tall horse. So this is descent with modification. So primitive and advanced, primitive organisms are simple, advanced organisms are complex. But better it is to classify, to group the organism on the basis of like a terminology. Say some of the organisms are older, some are younger. Why we should not say primitive and advanced? Because all organisms are living successfully in their environment. Bacteria can live in such environment where human survival is not possible. Right? At the bottom of the ocean, on the snow-covered mountains, in very inhospitable conditions also bacteria can live. Now about evolution, there's one more thing. Charles Darwin, he told us that how different variations got accumulated and helped in evolution. He mentioned that theory of natural selection also. He wrote a book, The Origin of New Species. The Origin of New Species. Now, or Origin of Species. This Charles Darwin wrote when he came after, when he went to a voyage, that is a sea journey for a few years, maybe 5 to 6 years. All the islands that he visited, he kept a record of the variety of organisms which were there, and then he came home and never left shore after that. And he compiled all these, and then he wrote the book, The Origin of Species. So that's it for today. And after this, I'll be coming up with videos on the basis of further classification of Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Till then, happy learning, stay safe, thank you.